Have you ever felt frustrated while working with paint? Clumping, spills, mess everywhere, and a lot of wasted time and effort. Hello everyone, welcome back to the Maker Mike Chanel. In this video, you'll see 3 practical improvements that can completely change how you work with paint. Follow each step carefully because small details make a big difference. Start with the first problem. Paint that has been sitting for a while tends to separate. Heavier components sink and form dense clumps. Instead of stirring slowly by hand, take a wooden stick and a few plastic zip ties. Wrap the zip ties tightly around the end of the stick. Space them evenly so they form flexible arms. I'm sure you've got your own helpful methods, so share them in the comment section and let's help each other out. Trim off the excess ends to keep everything balanced. This simple setup creates a small mixing head that can move through the paint more effectively. Insert the stick into a drill and tighten it securely. Hold the drill steady and lower the mixing head into the paint container. Turn on the drill at a low speed and begin mixing. Watch how the paint starts to move. The rotating zip ties create turbulence inside the container, breaking apart clumps and blending the liquid evenly. Continue mixing until the texture becomes smooth and consistent. This method saves time and ensures the paint is fully prepared before application. Now move to the second problem, pouring paint without making a mess. When you tilt a heavy container, the paint often runs along the edge and drips down the side, creating waste and extra cleanup. Take a large plastic bottle and cut off the top section. Place the cut section over the opening of the paint container. Adjust it so it sits evenly. Then use heat to soften the plastic slightly. As the material warms, it becomes flexible and conforms to the shape of the container. Allow it to cool so it holds its position firmly. Now, the container has a built-in pouring spout. Pick it up and test the flow. The paint moves through the narrow opening and pours cleanly. The handle on the bottle makes it easier to control, and the risk of spills is greatly reduced. This simple modification keeps your workspace cleaner and makes handling paint much more manageable. Now move to the final improvement. And this is where the biggest change happens. Using a standard paintbrush can be slow. You dip it into the paint, apply a small amount, and then repeat the process again and again. The paint coverage is often uneven, and the workflow feels interrupted. Instead of working around these limitations, the brush itself can be modified to deliver paint continuously. Take a paintbrush with a hollow plastic handle. Use a screwdriver to carefully remove the metal ferrule that holds the bristles in place. Work slowly to avoid damaging the structure. Once removed, use a utility knife to cut the handle shorter, exposing a hollow channel that runs from one end to the other. This hollow channel plays a critical role. A solid wooden handle would not work for this design. It allows the paint to flow through the handle, and the drilled holes later help control the flow evenly, creating a steady and consistent paint delivery to the brush. Now take a plastic bottle cap and place the cut end of the handle onto it. Mark the outline so you know where to cut. Then, trim the cap to fit the handle precisely. This step is simple, but it needs to be done with precision. Take your time and make sure every part lines up correctly. When everything fits together properly, it creates a strong, stable structure that will hold securely and perform reliably during use. Fit the handle into the cap and use heat to bond the plastic together. As the material softens, it forms a tight seal. Then apply hot glue around the joint to reinforce it and prevent leaks. Take your time when building each tool. Make sure the connections are secure, and test each step before moving forward. At this point, the handle is connected to the cap, but the paint still needs a path to reach the bristles. Take a drill and create several small holes in the metal ferrule. Space them evenly so the paint can flow through all sides. These holes will allow the paint to move from the handle into the brush evenly. Apply hot glue along the edge of the handle. Then carefully attach the brush head back into place. Make sure it sits aligned and secure. Continue adding more glue around the outside to seal the joint completely. There should be no gaps left, because paint can leak through even small openings and create unwanted mess. A tight seal keeps everything clean and ensures smooth, controlled paint flow during use. Now the brush has a continuous channel from the bottle cap all the way to the bristles. Prepare a plastic bottle and fill it with paint. These are simple adjustments, but together they create a much more efficient workflow, instead of struggling with the same issues every time. A few practical changes can save time, reduce waste, and improve the final result. Screw the modified brush onto the bottle. Tighten it so there are no leaks. Turn the bottle upside down and gently squeeze or shake it. The paint begins to move through the handle and reaches the bristles, soaking them evenly from the inside. Now test it on a surface. Move the brush across the material and watch how the paint flows. Instead of dipping repeatedly, the brush stays supplied with paint continuously. The strokes become smoother, coverage is more even, and the work progresses much faster. This setup reduces interruptions and allows you to focus on consistent application. Because the bottle holds a larger amount of paint, you can work longer without stopping, and the controlled flow prevents overloading the brush. If you work with paint regularly, try these methods and observe how much easier the process becomes. Small improvements like these often make the biggest difference in real work situations. Share your results and let others see what worked for you. And stay with the channel for more practical ideas, where simple modifications turn everyday tools into something far more effective.